Alrighty. Little update. We got the interior all put back together. The spare tire is back in here. I had to do a bunch of bondoing in here. And then I put the spare tire in here. I got the cover back on. Just got done vacuuming everything half decent. And everything's put back together in the trunk here. Damn, that thing's heavy. I mean, it is a Chevy. But we got everything all nice and cleaned up. And the most important part, right? We got everything nice and clean. Nice and clean. But we got center console back in. And we got the whole entire dash back in. Aw, yeah. I gotta put these back on here, like how the ones in the back are, and how, actually, that one is. So I guess I just need to put only this one on. The driver's on. But we got the entire frickin' dash put in the car. And the interior looks so good. It actually looks better than when I tore it apart. But just clean all that off. But we also, I know the yellow looks kind of weird, but there was a dent, there was a crack in this. I know the yellow looks kind of weird considering everything else is white, but I mean, it kind of goes with this. And to be honest with you, I barely ever drive this car, and two, the yellow's not really going to bother me that much considering the fact of, like I said, I really don't care. I'm more happy that it's not got a giant crack on the glass. But if you've noticed in some of the other videos, if you've noticed in some of the other videos, right, we had the tips sticking out, right? Well, the exhaust actually wasn't fully installed, because up here in the front, alright, a little clamp that I know is probably not installed in the right direction, but I really don't give a shit because it's installed. And if this car ends up getting repoed, it's the next person's problem. I'm just trying to get it on the road, and hopefully by the time that I do get it on the road, I'll be able to save the car and have a job by then. I don't know why no one wants to hire me. I've got enough skills to be worth freaking 5 people. For real. But we got the front installed, and after we got the front installed, we went back here and we reinstalled the back end again. But she still won't start. I don't know why she won't start. And I really don't have the money for replacing any parts. So she's at the point to where the only thing that's keeping her from being on the road is the fact that she won't start. The motor has kind of sat still. We're not really, since we're broke, we don't have no money to do anything underneath here on the motor, sadly. But we do, like I said, at least got something done on both cars, which I'm happy about. This one's got its interior together. All this needs now is some new tires, because in one of my videos, you can notice And then that one is fine, but they're all decently okay compared to that one, but they all got mad like dry rot on them. But this is nothing but motor work now. It just needs the motor work, which is honestly just a few. Sorry, I was trying to put this key on my neck. Which, honestly, it's not much that I need as far as parts still in order to get this on the road. Because, I mean, it's mostly just a few gaskets. We need the intake gasket, which is this thing. We need the gasket for underneath that. And then, I have all the other parts to do that. And then I've got all of the parts to do all of the exhaust stuff on there. And all the stuff that needs to go on the sides. And then I got all the parts for the stuff that needs to go up here on the front. I just need to get that frickin' bolt to come out. So we've got just about 90. I don't know, 96% of everything we need as far as for underneath here. Which, oh, by the way, peep the custom air box. I thought it was kind of neat. When we did do the dash, of course, we installed that. Which this has been installed for a while, but we went and actually shoved the hoses on there. I haven't clamped them down yet, but we did shove them on there. And we did finally reinstall the ECU, because we have to keep the ECU because it controls some of the stuff for the car still. Even though it's been V8 swapped and carbureted, there's still a lot of stuff that ECU uses. That has nothing to do with the fact that it's an 8 instead of a 6 now, because it's more of like internal, or like lights and different things like basically like that. But we are so close. We're so close. We need maybe like, I don't know, I want to say maybe like $100 more worth of gaskets for this car. But this car's, like I said, I've got like 90-something% of the parts I need. I maybe need like a few gaskets. And like I said, this car only needs to figure out why it's not starting. But that's our little update for now. Why won't you start? And basically, I gotta pick somewhere to start. Try and get the stuff that we can done, and then whatever we can't get done, because we can do the stuff for the exhaust on this, and if we can get the water pump bolt out, we can do the water pump and the stuff for the front end of this. The only thing we won't be able to do is the top end stuff until we get a job and we get back on our feet. So there's a lot of stuff that we can still do. I've been trying to make sure to get this done, so if it does end up where I just decide to let them repo it, because I mean, I have my fun and stuff like that, but if I can't get on my feet in time, and just not that, if I can't get on my feet in time, and even if I can get on my feet in time, the money I'm putting into this car in car insurance and in the payment itself is so much that I could be using that money to be having my own place to get out of my mom's. I could be using that money to take care of my son and be able to get, extra like toys and, stuff he don't need, but I want to because I can. And it would help me just have a lot of extra money that I could be, putting into getting this car fixed up, or like I said, getting moved out of here, getting, and making sure that I have extra money for if my kid has an emergency, and things like that. So, I mean, will I miss it? Fuck no. I'll just go out and buy an older generation, or, maybe like a Mini Cooper, or, like a Cobalt SS, or, oh hey, ironically, Mini Cooper. But I'll buy me like a Mini Cooper, a Cobalt SS, an older generation, a Lancer, something cool. I mean, I will find something neat. It might not be the fanciest of fancy cars, kind of like how, this is, but it'll be something that still has a mod community and still is something that I can enjoy and have fun in. But that's the update. We got the exhaust on. We just need her to get started. And like I said, we need some parts for the engine bay. The interior is finally done because of the AC box that needed done and the heater core that needed replaced. And there's a couple of other things back behind there that I had to wire tuck and stuff like that, and needed fixed underneath like the dash and whatnot. So, and like I said, like the yellow thing that I was talking about, and it needed cleaned out and things like that. But that's our update for now, and always remember, stay weird.